Hey, what's going on, Ecom Dominators? Cynthia here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to build your first ever print-on-demand business. Literally the best business in the world because you do not need any inventory, you don't need any expensive equipment. All you really need is a laptop and internet connection, and you can get started. So we'll be going over in today's video. Also, I've been getting a lot of requests from my subscribers asking me to do an updated tutorial, literally from A to Z, on how to start a print-on-demand store. So this will be that video. Also, I think right now is really the best time to start your own online business if you have not gotten started already, given what's going on around the world. So we're going to get started on showing you exactly how you can actually start your own print-on-demand business. Also, if you are new to my channel, hey, what's up? My name is Cynthia, and I teach everything related to print-on-demand, e-commerce, dropshipping, how to make money online. So if you're interested in learning more, don't forget to like this video and also stay subscribed to my channel for more content just like this. Alrighty guys, let's get into it. In this video, we are going to be doing a step-by-step print-on-demand training. And in this training, I'll be going over my 7-step system on how you can master the entire print-on-demand business all under 60 minutes. So take some notes, grab a drink, and we will get started. Now, in my 7-step system, I have listed them right over here, and I'll be going into depth about how to do each of the steps in this video. So it's basically a free course. Also, if you take a look at the right side of the screen, I listed some resources that you can reference throughout this training. Most of them are just my recommendations and different links that you can go in order to create your own store. So you can take a screenshot of this, but these are just some really great resources that we will be referencing throughout this training. So what is print on demand? So this is specifically for beginners, but basically what it is you take any design and then you would place it on a mock-up on any type of product like t-shirts, mugs, pillows. But in this case, we're going to use a t-shirt as an example. Now notice that this t-shirt does not exist anywhere in the world. And the idea of print on demand is that this t-shirt is only printed once we get an order. So this is an extremely efficient way for new sellers to get in the print-on-demand business and sell different merch, different products without actually owning that inventory. Now, in my opinion, print-on-demand is the best business model in the world, and let me explain why. Number one, you don't have any inventory. Again, as I will go through in the 7-step system, why you don't need inventory, because that should be all taken care of by your print-on-demand supplier. You will not need to hold the red, white, blue, yellow t-shirt in every possible size. You know, all you need to own is a design file that lives in your computer, and that's it. You don't need to own any of the actual physical inventory. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need to place it in your closet. This is all done through your supplier. Also, you don't need any employees. If you just have a laptop and internet connection, you can get started with print on demand. Also, you don't need any previous experience to get started, because in today's video, I'm literally taking you step by step from beginning to end on how you can create your own print-on-demand business, literally all under 60 minutes. Also, you don't need any equipment. Like I said, your supplier will take care of that. You don't have to invest in any expensive printing equipment. And what I like best of all with print-on-demand is it's cash flow positive. What does that mean? Let me show you what I mean. So say you have an item that's sold. Say you sold this t-shirt. And what happens is you will get paid first all the time, every time. And then what happens is this order gets sent directly to your supplier, and you pay the supplier for the base cost and the shipping for them to print, pack, and ship that item to your customers. So this is what I mean by cash flow positive. Whenever you sell a product, you get paid first all the time, every time. Okay, so say for an example, you sell this t-shirt for $24.99 and you charge $4.95 for shipping. you're going to earn $30 from this one t-shirt sale. Now what happens is this $30 gets deposited to your bank so that you would have money to pay your supplier. So what happens is you take the $30, you subtract the base cost for the supplier to print the t-shirt and also ship it to your customer. You're going to get round about $17 margins, meaning $17 profit after you have paid your supplier. So this is an incredible business model. Like I said, $17 is only for one t-shirt, but imagine if you sell 10, 20, 100 t-shirts. This number will go up pretty quickly. I now want to go over a few case studies because I want you to be motivated and actually see the numbers behind what is possible with print on demand. So the SPY tool that I am using for this example, you can go and visit spy.teebootcamp.com to use this tool that I'm about to show you. So let's hop on over. This is tspy.com, and it's a great software to use if you are going to be in the print on demand business because it allows you to see different people's campaigns, how well they're doing, the design, how much they're selling for, and how many units have been sold. So a lot of good data that you can research about different niches to help you create better designs. So over here, they allow you to search through different things. So over here, I can search through things like, let's just say I want to sell in the dog niche. I'm going to go and type in dog, and I'm going to let T-Spy sort out all of the t-shirt campaigns that has to do with this niche. So now what you want to do is I'm going to sort it by sales. I want T-Spy to sort everything from the highest number of sales to the lowest number of sales. So I'm going to see over here. I'm going to click on this. Again, if you hover over it, you can actually see the exact design. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. So this t-shirt over here, they charge $22.99 for this. And they have to date sold over 2,200 units. So if I do the math on this, let's just see. $22.99 times. All right, so in just one t-shirt alone, this earned $50,000 again from one design. We're not even counting all the other accessories that they may be selling with this exact designs where you can put on mugs, pillows, tumblers, so many other ones, but this one is just focused on a t-shirt design. Now, another thing that I like about T-Spy is that I can literally go under campaigns and then go directly to top selling, where I can see all of the top selling campaigns that did extremely well. So if you look at this first one over here, this is Papa, the man, the myth, the legend. Anyone who is in the family niche, let's just take a look at this one over here. So this one, they sold it for $19.95, and they sold in total 62,000 units. So if we do the math on this one, let's see, 19.5 times 62. All right, so this totally made over $1 million on this one design. Really incredible. Let's take a look at another one. So let's come down over here. Let's take a look at this one very quickly. So this one is in the veteran niche. And as you can see, this is an incredible design that you can do on the back. So I'm going to take a look at some of the data. So in total, they have sold over 25,000 units, and they charge $21.99, and they sold 500. Okay, so this t-shirt design alone sold over 500,000. Again, they did not own the inventory. They have only, sold people on this mock-up, and then the supplier goes and prints it themselves. So I'm going to just quickly do one more. This one is also in the family niche. Let's take a quick peek. All right, so just do this one more time. So they sold this for $23.99 times 22,000 units. All right, so this also sold over 500,000 just on this one design alone. So the point of this tool is to really let you see what designs are out there, what is working and what is not working, and so that you can take inspiration from these designs and create your own unique designs. Remember, do not copy someone else's design, simply just take inspiration and then go out and create a better one. Now, most of you might think $47 per month is very expensive, but if you think about all the data that you're going to get, all the campaigns that you're going to have access to, and seeing what is out there, what is doing well, what is selling, what is not selling, which kind of design is doing the best in your niche, that really gives you a competitive edge to create designs that will actually sell. So in T-Spy, you'll get to see, great ideas that people are actually loving. You get to see other people's design that actually stands out and why people are buying, and also access to different Facebook ads that actually converts to sales. So you're going to get all of this data inside T-Spy. So again, incredible price for everything that you're going to get. So if you want to get in T-Spy, simply go to spy.teebootcamp.com to register. And without further ado, I'm just going to hop right into my 7-step system on how you can get started with the print-on-demand business. So for step number 1 is to pick a profitable niche. This is usually most beginners' problem when they get started in the print-on-demand business. They usually say, hey, Cynthia, I don't know what niche should I go with. Do you have any ideas? So there are a few things that I actually look for on my checklist before I actually invest in a niche. And we're going to be going over that right now. So one of the things I go on is Google Trends. I actually look for my niche. Are people actively looking for that specific niche, things like that. Another great resource is going on Facebook Audience Insight, which I'll show you later on. But basically, Facebook will show you, how many people is actually interested in your niche. Tons of data there. And a few things that I also look for when I'm selecting a niche is it a passionate audience? With print on demand, when you're selling any product to a group of audience, no one is going to buy a product that they're not passionate about, right? If you're going to be selling t-shirts, people have to want to show off their t-shirt. They have to be passionate about the cause or whatever quote is on the t-shirt for them to wear it. So you definitely have to have the passionate factor before you get into a niche. Also, I need to make sure that that this niche that I'm about to pick have over 1 million people or more in this audience, and I usually go on Facebook Audience Insights to get this type of data. So, when your niche is too small, it's almost impossible to be profitable, because every time you put out a new design, it will go through your audience pretty quickly, and you can't really scale it as big as some of the bigger niches. So make sure that your audience size is at least 1 million people or more. Also, another thing I look at is competition. A lot of people think it is, it's not good to have competition because so many people are doing it. It's so saturated. No niche is ever too saturated. Only the same product designs are saturated. So what I like about competition is I like to go out and research, whether you're on Facebook or Google, is there a good amount of competition? If there's a good amount of competition, that tells me one thing, is that people are in that niche are profitable. They will not be still running their stores. They will not be still running ads if that niche isn't profitable. Now, that being said, that does not mean that that will guarantee your success in a niche. Sometimes someone may identify with that niche a little bit more than you, so they may have more success than you. It all comes down to testing different niches. Again, like I said, this will not be a guarantee that if other people can do it, that you can do it. Again, you'll have to put in the work, the time, the research, everything in order for this to work. But again, what I always recommend is that it's a volumes game in print on demand. the more niche that you test out, the better chance that you have to finding a niche that works for you. And the more designs you're able to test, the higher chance you have to finding a winning design. Right now, I am on Audience Insights inside Facebook. Now, in order to get Audience Insights, you can go ahead and Google it to get to this part. But basically, if you look under interests, you can type in your niche down here, and Facebook will let you know how big your audience is. So I can do a few as an example. So let's just say I want to be in the cat niche. I can type in cats and see how many people are in this audience. So according to Facebook, there is around 60 to 70 million people who like cats on Facebook. So let's take a look at another one. Let's just say you want to get into nursing. There's about 40 to 45 million people who is interested in nursing. So quite a lot of people. But for the purpose of this training, I'm going to stick with coffee. It's actually a very popular and also passionate niche. So I'm going to click on this one and look at the data. So about 60 to 70 million people are interested in coffee. So it's definitely have a huge audience size for, potentially to create a really, really profitable print-on-demand business, because we do know that the sample size is big and that it is a scalable business. A good website that I like to go on is Etsy, and what I like to do is type in my niche and then type in some sort of merch that you can search out different designs. So as you can see, I just type in coffee t-shirt and I found so many different people trying to sell coffee designs in this niche. And as you can see, there is a good amount of competition, and I like when I see there's competition. It means that people are profitable, people are making money from this niche. That means you can also potentially get into this niche and be profitable as well. So let's take a look at another website. This is called I Heart Apparel, and over here I just typed in coffee, and then I just have a tons of t-shirts. This store will not be investing in so many of these coffee designs if they're not making money, if they are not profitable. So coffee seems to be a very good niche to get into, so this is the one that we will stick with for the purpose of this tutorial. Quickly, I want to talk about this amazing tool called the Merch Informer. And if you're going to be doing anything in print on demand, this is literally a must-have tool. What I like most about Merch Informer is this feature right over here called the competition checker. And what you can do is you can literally type in your niche keyword right over here, and they will give you tons of data from Amazon showing you, how many products do they actually have, is a part of Amazon's bestsellers rating. So they're going to give you all of that data. So say for example, I want to search let's say in the unicorn niche. I'm going to click search. It's going to take a few seconds to gather up the data. So the first thing you're going to see is the total number of products they actually have online on Amazon relating to unicorns. So it's about over 100,000. So that's a pretty good number. I like to see a good amount of competition just so I know that it could potentially be profitable. Now the next thing you could do is scroll down all the way here, and they're going to give you the best sellers for this specific niche. So the first thing I see is how much they're actually charging for each of the t-shirt. Also, another thing I like to look at is the rating. So this one has 46 number of ratings, 25 ratings, 20. So these are a good amount of ratings, which means these type of designs right over here, they are getting sales. So you can keep on scrolling and see what other designs are actually doing very well. Again, we have more unicorn designs. So what I like about this tool is not only do they let you know how many products are actually online, they also show you the best sellers on Amazon. So a really, really great tool to use if you're in print on demand. So I highly recommend that you check out Merch Informer. And if you're interested, I have a 20% off discount code. I'll have that link down below. Just type in Ecom Dominators for 20% off. Now that we have successfully picked and proved a niche can be profitable, the next step now is to set up our Shopify store. Now there are multiple different platforms, but by far Shopify is the best. So a couple of things you do need to get ready before you start your own Shopify store. So the first thing you'll need is a logo. So for this one, I actually recommend going on Placeit or Fiverr to get it done. Number two, you'll need a banner for your website. You can go on free sites like Pixabay or Pexels to get your free, royalty-free banners that is high quality. Also, you will need a custom domain for your business, so you can register one on GoDaddy or Namecheap. But I do recommend going with Namecheap because it is slightly cheaper than GoDaddy. And here on Fiverr, you can look under logo design and you can find other people offering the service to help you create your own logo. So make sure you do know what the name of your business is going to be, and then you can go and purchase one of these gigs and a designer will go ahead and design a logo for your business. So they have a lot of different designs here. Just go ahead and read the reviews before you purchase. Make sure they're legitimate. You can look at their past work before you invest in one. Or you can go on websites like Placeit.net where they have thousands of different templates that you can choose from to create different mock-ups. You can create your own logo, videos, different designs to do that. So all you have to do is come on over to logos to generate your own logo for your business. Now, of course, you can come back to Fiverr and pay someone $30, $80, $10, $25 for a logo, or an alternative, a cheaper alternative, is to go on Placeit and create your own logo. So you're going to have to type in the name of your store. Now, a great tool that I like to recommend for this is going on leandomainsearch.com. It's a free tool you can use. You can literally type in your niche and they're going to suggest different names that you can use for your business. So I really like this tool. So I just type in coffee and they're going to generate different business names that I can use. So I'm just going to go through all of these and see which one I like. So I think I like this one over here. It says Fabric Coffee. I think it just has to do with, the coffee niche and also, the apparel t-shirt kind of feel. So I'm going to go with Fabric Coffee. And I'm going to come back to Placeit. And I'm going to say, hey, my business name is going to be, Fabric Coffee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click next. And then I can pick an industry. So automatically they think that my niche is a coffee shop. But of course you can always change your industry to something else. Let's just say that I want to change mine to, let's say, a clothing brand. So instead of the coffee shop, I want to change it to a clothing brand. And I can just click let's go. Now, after you enter everything in, you can go ahead and browse what Placeit has generated for you. So you can just pick one that you want to use. So over here, I'm just going to go with this one right over here. I like how this one looks. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it to download it so I can upload it to my store later on. And I'm going to download it and save it to my desktop. So now what we want to do is we want to get a banner for our Shopify store. This will all make sense once we register and we customize the whole thing. But the main two key components that you really need before you open up a Shopify store is get a logo and a banner ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in coffee inside of Pixabay, and they're going to give me a bunch of pictures I can use, all high quality photos for my page. So I like this one over here, so I'm going to go ahead and download this one as my banner image. Also, another thing that I do recommend that you get is your own custom domain. I don't recommend using the generic domain provided by Shopify. It's very unprofessional. So make sure you do get one on Namecheap. So I can literally type in my name here. So I can say fabriccoffee.com. This one should be available, I believe. Yeah, so I can add this to cart. You want to definitely go live with a domain that really speaks about your brand, and not just the .myshopify.com. You definitely don't want that. You want the actual custom domain. So it's very cheap on Namecheap. It's a lot more expensive on GoDaddy, and I don't recommend it. So go ahead and get your domain at namecheap.teebootcamp.com. So now what we want to do is register an account with Shopify. So if you go on over to shopify.teebootcamp.com, right now you can get a Shopify trial free for 90 days. You can test out the entire Shopify platform for 90 days. An incredible deal. Remember, you got to head on over to shopify.teebootcamp.com for the trial. And the first thing you need to do is enter in your email address and then click Start Free Trial. So after you register for an account, you'll be brought to your dashboard. This is the place where you get to see how many sales you've made, all of your data. So the first thing we want to do whenever we create a new Shopify store is to customize our online store. So if you click online store, you can go ahead and customize the look and feel of your theme. So over here, the current theme right now is the debut theme. You can go under actions, and you can edit the code if you know code, or otherwise you can just click customize. Now our store right now looks blank and empty because we haven't done anything with it, but we're going to start customizing the logo and the banner very quickly. So to customize the image of the logo, I just head on to header and then select my logo. So after you upload your logo, we can go ahead and come back here and edit the actual banner image. So for that one, I'm just going to click this one and select my image. So I just uploaded my image. My banner looks pretty nice, overlaying my entire website. This will be the first picture your customers will see anytime they visit your website directly. Again, you can actually customize the text overlaying your banner image, so you can say things like, shop now, and you can type in your text right over here. But for the purpose of this training, I'm just going to go ahead and delete out the text, and I just want the actual photo at the front of my page. Now if I come on back here, I can actually customize different theme settings like colors, typography, social media, checkout page. So there's a few things that we can go out and customize. So the first thing is colors. You can select any colors you want. If you want the buttons to be this color, you can also change it as well. Or if you prefer more of a coffee color, you can go ahead and select that as well. So I might want to choose a more brown for my buttons. And then once you're satisfied with how it looks like, you can go and save it. You can also customize the typography. If you don't like this font, you can always change the font to something else. So if you like this one, you can change it to this one. Otherwise, you'll keep it the same. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it the same. And the next one we can customize is the social media icons. Again, you can upload an image. Once you create your own Facebook page, your Pinterest profile, your Instagram profile, you can actually place your links here, and then they will appear at the footer of your page. So say for example, I own a page and I could just say facebook.com/fabric coffee, and then I can just save it, and then that will appear as a little icon in my store. And whenever people want to visit my Facebook page, they can simply click on the icon and they can go ahead and visit my page. So as you can see, Facebook is down here. The other ones are not listed here because we have not inserted a link. Again, if you want to insert a link, you can insert it here and it will automatically be placed down here. What I like about Shopify is that you do not need to know any kind of coding experience. You do not need to be a web developer. Anyone can do this. It's really all just copy and paste, drag and drop, super easy and simple. Also, another thing is if you look under checkout, you can actually upload your own banner at the checkout and your logo. So for the checkout logo, I always select the same image as the one on my front page because I want to keep it consistent. I'm just going to go ahead and save that. Now, if you are a beginner and you're just starting out with print on demand, you could just stick with one of Shopify's free theme. This performs pretty well. It's all mobile optimized, and it's pretty good. But if you really want to take your store to the next level, I do really recommend you using the conversion theme for Shopify. This is a paid theme, but 100% worth it because Conversion knows how to optimize your store for high conversions, which means they've added in trust badges, they've added in buttons that look more appealing. If you look down here, they actually show you there are different features that you will get once you integrate conversion with your Shopify store. You get the top bar menu. You get the header cart widget. Now, keep in mind there are other apps that you have to download in order to get these features. What I like about Conversion is they got rid of tons of different apps and they have combined it all in one theme that you can use readily. They've integrated blog posts, page content, testimonials. You can put in an Instagram feed, so many different things, Google Maps, newsletters, collection lists, featured products. You want to put a YouTube video. They offer so many things in this theme that is 100% worth it. I love conversion theme. This is the theme that I use for all of my stores, and so this is the one I recommend. Now, if you take a look at the pricing, if you're getting started with conversion and you want to know whether or not it is right for you, you can obviously stick with the single license. It's about $197, which is really, really worth it. But I do recommend getting the buy two, get one free. For me, with print on demand, I want to open up multiple Shopify stores. So if you're a person that you want to be able to run multiple different Shopify stores in multiple different niches, then this will be a better deal because you literally get 2 licenses plus 1 for free. So you're paying the price of 2 to get 3 different themes that you can use for 3 different Shopify stores. Now, coming back here, now that we have learned how we can create a logo for super cheap, we've got our free banner. We can get our cheap domain on Namecheap. I recommended my theme, conversion theme. Again, if you are a beginner, you can just stick with the free theme. You do not need to get conversion if you are a complete beginner. But I do recommend getting conversion once your store becomes profitable. Also, another thing that I've been constantly asked is, am I offering a done for you Shopify store? This was backed by popular demand. I get so many messages of people asking me for this type of service. This is mainly for people who don't actually have time to create their own Shopify stores, and I get it. Most people have full-time jobs and they don't actually have time to go ahead and create it. So I've offered a service where you can go to store.teebootcamp.com and you can actually pay us to help you create a Shopify store. All done for you, meaning we go ahead and we customize everything. So what's included in the Shopify store is you'll get a free logo, meaning you'll get a custom logo made by us so you can save money from people creating your logo. We'll also give you 5 free t-shirt designs already preloaded to your store. It'll just help you get started. Also, we're going to be able to help you customize the entire store. So you're going to get everything at one low cost if you want us to help you do and customize your entire Shopify store and you just don't have time for it. Just go ahead and visit store.teebootcamp.com and we will take care of you. My design team will help you create your store and we'll send you the login details after we are done. Now that we have successfully picked a niche that can potentially be profitable and we have successfully set up our Shopify store, the next step is to find and integrate with a reliable print-on-demand supplier. So there are a few things that I look at when it comes to finding a reliable supplier. And the first thing I usually look at is, do they have good customer service? So you can actually read different reviews online to make sure that they actually do respond to our emails. Because oftentimes, when you have a question, you definitely want them to have a team to be able to help you answer questions. Another thing I look at, are they reliable? Do they have a fast turnaround time? And so, oftentimes you don't want to work with a supplier that aren't fulfilling your orders for months and months down the road, because that is bad customer service on your part. The thing about print on demand is your customer doesn't know that your products are being printed by a third-party supplier. They think it is your company. And so if you are working with an unreliable supplier that isn't shipping out orders, it's going to look bad on you. So definitely be able to find one that is reliable and can help you print, pack, and ship all of your orders on time. Now, another thing I look at is branding capabilities. Do that supplier have the ability to help you brand your entire products? Because when we want our customers to receive our product, they definitely want to have that feel that, hey, it's truly, truly from us and not from a third-party vendor. So there are actually 2 suppliers that I currently recommend because they are proven to have everything that I've listed here. They have good customer service, they're reliable, they're fast, and they have different branding capabilities. So the first one I do recommend is called Printful. They've been around for such a long time. Highly recommend them. Go ahead and register at print.teebootcamp.com. Now, another supplier that I also love is called Printify. They have tons of unique different products. And so this Printify will actually be the example that I will show you in this video. So if you want to sign up for Printify, don't forget to go to printify.teebootcamp.com. So here's the front page of Printify. So it's very easy and simple to sign up. So the first thing you want to do is go to printify.teebootcamp.com to register. Simply click the sign up button that you see right up here. And you can enter in your email and password and you can sign up. Super simple and easy. So I'm going to enter in my email and my password, and I'll be right back. So I just entered in my information. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we complete this checklist. So the first thing we need to do is add a store name. So you can actually create any store name that you want for Printify. I'm just going to say demo store, and I'm just going to go ahead and click save. So the next thing you want to do is add some of my personal details, name of business, full name, emails, my address. So you're going to go ahead and enter this in, and I'll be right back. Now, the next thing you want to do is to now design your first product. That is how easy it is to start getting set up with Printify and start selling. But before we can design our first product, there is one thing that is missing, and that is the actual design that we're going to put on our t-shirt. So let's hop on back to the PowerPoint. So for step number 4 is to research designs and find a graphics designer. So this is actually the most important part in print on demand, is both research and actually finding a good quality designer to help us bring our ideas to life. Because it's one thing to find a really good design that you want it to be created, and it's another thing to actually find a designer that really understands our needs and what kind of design we're looking for, and really bring that to life and send us good quality designs. So in this section, I'll be showing you exactly this. After we have created design, I will hop on back to Printify and we will finish with uploading the actual product. So we will be back with Printify. But in this section right now, let's just quickly show you how I am researching designs and finding a graphics designer. So for researching designs, I will be using T-Spy to help me figure out what is working, and then kind of using that as inspiration to create my own unique design. So for the research, I'm actually using T-Spy. You can go to spy.teebootcamp.com to register for your account. It's an amazing tool, like I said before, for finding, any kind of designs that are in your niche. And you can see how many sales they have, how much they're charging, things like that. So lots and lots of data. Now, the next thing we want to do is find a graphics designer. I have listed a few designers that you can go out right now to find one. Now, the first place you can find a designer is called Fiverr.com, and I love this website because you can find designers in almost any kind of price range, anywhere from $5 to $20 to $30 and up. So all you have to do is come in here and type in something like, t-shirt design. And what Fiverr will do, they will find gigs that offer this type of service. So you can go, and what I would do is I would take a nice look at their portfolio and see their past work. One thing that I almost always notice is it's one thing to put text on a t-shirt, and it's another thing to really understand typography. If you look at this design over here, as you can see, this is not just some text that you can easily create on Photoshop. You know, this takes a lot of time and creativity to create this. So you definitely want to find a designer that can do this work. There's designs like this, very extremely complicated. So just come and look through Fiverr. Again, you'll find multiple different price ranges. You'll find $40, $10, $50, $5, $45, you know, so many different price points. So really take a look at what you're willing to pay for your design, and also take a look at, is this the type of design that I really want? So another website is called Upwork. You can also find designers here. You have to sign up, and you can start hiring people, you know, in design, in writing, in web development, marketing, so many different categories as well. Another one is called freelancer.com, also an amazing place to find good quality designers. Last but not least is 99 Designs. They truly have state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line designers on 99 Designs. But then again, like I said, it is extremely expensive unless you have the budget. I would say 99 Designs for last, because they are a more higher-end type design company. So now you know where to find a good graphic designer. Now we need to create our designer brief, telling our designers what we want on our design. So now we have to do the research. So I do recommend T-Spy. They do have tons of data here where you can look at what is working, what are other people doing, and kind of taking inspiration from that to create our own unique design. So what you can do is you can come into T-Spy and you can type in your niche. So in this case, I'm just going to type in coffee, and I'm going to see what is out there. I'm going to scroll through here, and you know, there's tons of different designs. You can hover over here and you can see it much better. They have tons of good designs. Faith, hope, love. What's to say? I just want to sew, my sewing room, and drink coffee. So this is actually 2 niches in one, which you can get extremely targeted on Facebook ads. So you can scroll through on here. But there's one that caught my attention, which is this one. This is I'm a coffee holic. And then it just says I'm on my way to the coffee shop. So this is a really funny design for anyone that loves coffee. Coffee is definitely a very passionate niche. People just love it. So I'm actually going to use this as my inspiration for my designer brief example. So what you can do is, once you find a design that you kind of want to go for and test for yourself, simply just click on it and you have all the data here. Okay, so here I just want to see how many units this person has sold this t-shirt for. So I'm going to pull up my calculator and just type in they've sold it for $23.99 times, and they've in total sold over 305 units. Now it comes down to about $7,000 revenue for just this one design alone. So I'm going to do a similar one to this one. Again, like I said, I'm not trying to copy. I'm just trying to use it as inspiration for my design. You always want to ask yourself, when you see a design, what can you do to make it better? Okay, so off the bat, I don't like how this text here is curved like that. I feel like it's hard to read, and I don't like that. Also, this design is very monotone in my opinion. It's just white design on a black t-shirt. I feel like it needs a little bit more color. Also, I like to change out the graphics. I feel like this teacup here can be a little bit bigger. Again, I don't really like the font here, so I feel like I can improve on the font. So there's a lot of things that when you look at a design, think to yourself, what can I do better? Over here, I have created a checklist. Whenever you send your designer, your brief telling them, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Remember, the more information that you can provide to your designer, the better your design will be. The outcome will just look a lot better the more information you give to your designer. Also, when you contact a designer, do not just say, hey, my niche is coffee, just think of anything for me. They will not know what you want. So you definitely have to do the research before you contact a designer. So in this case, I can just say, hey, my niche is coffee. For the color scheme, since I don't like just white, I can just say, can you do a brown / white color scheme? This is what I want because I feel like it needs that brown. Brown just represents a lot of what coffee really is. Preferred graphics. So instead of a teacup, I want to go for maybe a coffee pot. I think that speaks more to my niche than just a regular teapot. And then the exact text, I can just say, I want let's just say a coffeeholic on the road to recovery. And then instead of just kidding, I'm just saying, not really, on my way to the coffee shop. Okay. So you can change it up a little bit, or you can actually keep it the same, but I just changed mine up a little bit. Again, the dimensions, if you have a specific dimensions that you want your designer to design it in, you can enter it in here. This is kind of optional, but if your print-on-demand supplier requires your design to be a specific dimension, then you definitely want to put it in here. So in this case, I'm just going to say, can you design in 300 times 300 pixels? Okay. It doesn't have to be this. You can just say, or 3000 pixel, width. Okay. Now, other optional information that you can provide for your designer is the text font and overall look. So, instead of this font here, I can go on places called thefont.com, and I can scroll through all these designs and kind of see what font I want for my coffee t-shirt design. So over here, I see this design over here. So I'm going to say, I prefer this font over this font that I see here. So I can just go ahead and click on this font over here, literally copy this link so that we can provide that information to our designer. So I can say, I want a font similar to the one seen here, and then I can literally enter in that link. So when the designer, they can actually click on this link and actually see what type of font that they're going for. So if you're a designer, you can actually download this design to use for the client. Other than that, if they have something that's similar, that just makes them know, hey, this is the type of font that my client wants. Now, lastly, what I do recommend is actually give a link to a design example so they actually know what you're actually seeing. So in this case, I'm just going to copy this one right over here. I can view at Teespring, so I'm going to provide them with this link over here so your designer can actually see what you're looking at and what they can do to improve upon it. So I'm just going to say, here's the link over here. So now that we are done, you can literally send this to your designer. Again, some designers may need more information, so you can provide more information as requested, but this is basically the main thing that you really need to put inside your designer brief. Now, before I actually move on to the actual design process, I do have my own personal designer who's been working with me for years, and I love his design. He is a very, very amazing graphics designer. So you can try to email my designer at designszoo.co@gmail.com. I'm not sure how many clients are actually taking at this point. And so just go ahead and contact him. You may or may not get a response, but once again, they do amazing work, and they work for me full time. So I'm not sure if they are going to accept new clients again. Go ahead and contact them. If not, you can go on either of these sites to find your own designer. So now that we have found our designer, and let's just say for an example, they have just sent us back our design, that now we can start creating our first product. The first thing you want to do is click design the product, and you can browse through hundreds of different products that Printify have in their catalog. They have t-shirts for men. They have thousands of t-shirts for women. They have hoodies, pants, shoes, just so many different categories. They have different accessories like tote bags, backpacks. And this one over here says it's a bestseller. I'm going to stick with this one right over here. And then I can go and say, let's just see, fulfill from the United States. So I can say start designing. And then I can go ahead and add in my design. So for the purpose of this, I have a design already ready. So I'm going to pick that design. So here's the design I just uploaded. Now, another thing that I see here is whenever you want to know the exact recommended size for your design file, you will be able to see it underneath the design when you go ahead and click on it. So what I would do is I would copy this, and I'll go back to my designer brief, and then I can, delete this, and I can paste this in right over here and say, hey, these are the print file requirements. And this just lets your designer know that they should be sending you the file in either JPEG, PNG file, that it doesn't exceed 50 MB, and the recommended size is 4200 by 5100 pixels. So these are good, important information that you should include. Now keep in mind that this dimensions and these requirements vary based on your supplier. So just all you have to do is click on the product to see this type of requirement. So now I'm going to go ahead and click next. But also another thing is make sure your design here does say high resolution. If your design is low resolution, Printify will let you know. They'll highlight it in red and say low resolution, and you can go ahead and ask your designer to change some stuff up. But this looks all good, so I'm going to go ahead and click next. The next part, they're just going to show you how it actually looks like on the actual t-shirt and the mock-ups. So I'm just going to click next. Now you can actually give it a title, and then you can add in a description, but we're just going to keep that the same. And then now is the fun part. We want to add in our pricing. So for the pricing for the t-shirts, I do recommend going with $24.99. So I'm going to change it for all of them. Now for the last step, we want to connect it to a store since we have not linked our Printify account with Shopify. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to store. So then they're going to ask you which e-commerce platform you're currently with. So with Printify, they work with so many different platforms like Shopify, Etsy, Wix, WooCommerce, eBay, just to name a few. So in this case, I'm going to connect with Shopify. And now they're going to ask you for your store URL. So keep in mind that they do not want your domain name. It is the ugly URL that you get from Shopify. So if you come back to your Shopify store, they want this ugly looking domain up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy it, paste it in right here, and then I'm just going to click connect. Now, once you have installed the app, you can come back down under My Store, My Products, and I can click this button that says Publish. Now, after you have published it in store, you can actually come on back over to your Shopify store under Products. You can actually view the product that got pushed inside of your store, so you can click on it. You can update the title, description, add more photos, or you can change up the pricing if you wish. You can do it all over here. Just make sure to not touch any of this. This just lets Shopify know that which is your fulfillment provider. So please leave it at Printful. But then you can come and click preview and actually see what it looks like inside of your front store. So this is actually how it looks like. It just says it has your t-shirt title. They can select the color, any size that they want, add to cart, or buy now. So you can actually start selling this right now on day 1. And for step number 5, we will be going over marketing. And for the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to be focusing on Facebook. And I'm going to be talking about other traffic sources a little bit later on. But for this section, we're going to be just focusing on Facebook to get traffic for people to actually know that our product exists. So we're going to be going over a few things in this section. I'm going to show you exactly how you can create your ad, upload it onto a Facebook fan page, and run your very first Facebook ad, literally starting at $5. So let's hop on over. So the next thing what you want to do is start creating the Facebook ad. You can actually post it onto your Facebook fan page before you run the actual ad, or you can actually create it during the ad process. But I feel like posting it on your Facebook fan page is just a lot easier. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. And if you do not know how to create your own Facebook fan page, I have a video on my channel showing you exactly how to do that. So go ahead and watch that video. But other than that, what you're going to do is come down here and we're going to upload our photo that we just created on Placeit. So after you upload your image, you can start creating the ad. It doesn't have to be very long. It just, for me, I always just write 3 separate lines. On the first line, we want some sort of hook to get our customers' attention. So all I do is just write, do you love drinking coffee? And then I can just say, grab yours here. And then I have to grab the link from my Shopify store. Of course, you won't have the myshopify.com. I will never launch my store with just myshopify.com. Again, I do recommend going on places like Namecheap and getting your own custom domain. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to link it right here. And then for the last one, I like to include some sort of scarcity. So I'm going to say, limited time only. Or if you're running a sale, you can say, get 15% off today. Okay. And then I can go ahead and click share now. All right, so I just created my ad. This is exactly what people will see once we run our advertisement on Facebook. So the first thing you need to come and do is go on over to Ads Manager. Now, if you don't have an Ads Manager account, simply Google Facebook for Business, and then you can register through that link. Again, just Google Facebook Business or Facebook Ads Manager, and they will lead you to a sign up process. But the first thing you want to do is go ahead and create your ad. So over here, I'm just going to click this one out. So whenever you're running an ad and you want to get purchases, then I would always recommend conversions ad. I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to type in coffee t-shirt demo. And then I can go ahead and click continue. Now the first thing you need to do is to tell Facebook what type of event do you want to optimize for. So you can optimize for certain things, add to cart, view content, search, contact, things like that. So for the purpose of this, I want to tell Facebook, go out and find me people who are most likely to purchase my product. So the next thing you want to do is come down here and you can actually tell Facebook to be a little bit more specific on the type of audience you're going for. So over here, I want to target people in the US. For my age, I can go ahead and edit my age. Let's just say I want to show my ad anyone from 21 and up, just to make sure they have a credit card. I can do all genders, or I can just select women. Since the picture of the model is women, you can actually run 2 separate ads, one for men, one for women, or you can just do all. But for this one, I'm going to choose women. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the targeting. So I can just type in people that like coffee. And then I always make sure to uncheck this because I don't want them to expand my targeting. And then I come down here, I'm going to select manual placements because whenever I test a new product, I always want to just test out Facebook home feeds, and I do not want to test out anything else. So I'm just making sure that I'm going to uncheck everything. Okay, so the only thing that I left checked is the Facebook newsfeed. That's the best way to gauge whether or not your design is a winner. So then after that, I'm gonna come down here. You really only need $5 or $10 to start. You can start at $5 and you can get this ad up and running. I'm gonna go ahead and click continue. Now, right now, you can select from your Facebook pages. So in this case, mine will be under coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And you can do one of two things, as I mentioned before. You can actually create your ad right here inside Ads Manager, or you can just use existing posts, which is what we created a few minutes ago. So I'm going to go ahead and select the post that we just created. I'm going to click continue. And they're going to generate a preview on how it actually looks like when other people see your ad. So this is exactly how it looks like. As you can see, has the name of our business, it has the call to action, and it also has the image. We can also add in a call to action button. So you have to find one that actually fits what your main objective is. Shop now, and then I'm going to add in my website URL. Again, I'm going to paste this in. I'm going to update my post. So as you can see down here, they now have a button that says shop now. Another great call to action button that can help you increase your click-through rate to your website. So after you are done, you can actually scroll down over here and you can click confirm, and Facebook will review your ad and then they will start spending your budget. So creating a Facebook ad is super easy and simple. As you saw, we didn't spend too much time doing it. So the next part on what you want to do is automation. Now that we have a niche, we set up our store, we've integrated with a reliable supplier, we have a good designer that's pumping out good quality designs, and we're running very profitable ad campaigns. And now you're starting to get orders, and it's very hard to keep up with customer service and uploading and managing your entire Shopify store on a daily basis, because a lot of our time is focused on marketing, focused on getting more customers, and email marketing, things like that. So there's a lot of tedious work that you definitely want to outsource to someone else. So I do recommend that eventually, as you grow your store, is to outsource it to a virtual assistant, which you can hire elsewhere. A virtual assistant, if you don't know anything about that, is basically someone that you can hire that will work for you virtually, meaning you're not going to see them face to face. They're just going to be someone you hire, and then you just grant them access to your Shopify store or your Facebook page, and they will help you manage your social media, manage your day-to-day operations, things that doesn't really require your time to be there. You know, as an entrepreneur, we really have to weigh how much is our time worth. You know, you could be spending your time taking care of customer service and taking care of all the nitty-gritty stuff, or you can utilize your time to learn how to market better on Pinterest, how to market better on Facebook, how to get more clients, how to build better funnels. You know, those are the things that you should be focusing on, not more of the customer service, you know, uploading designs. You know, those things you can actually train and teach someone else to help you do it. So right now I'm going to show you a place where you can go ahead and find a virtual assistant. So now I am on Upwork.com, and it's a great place to find virtual assistants. You can literally find anyone on almost any kind of category. For this case, I just typed in Shopify virtual assistant, and you'll literally find tons and tons of different people offering this exact service. You get to see the rate, how much they're charging per hour, the percentage of job success, where they're located, how much they have earned in the past. And so you can see all of these things. It's really great when you're trying to find the perfect virtual assistant for your business. So I do really recommend looking on Upwork to find really good virtual assistants. And for the last step, for step number 7, is to find more traffic sources. I know I talked a lot about Facebook previously. I showed you how to run your first Facebook ad. You know, although Facebook is the biggest social media platform currently, it is not the only game in town. Oftentimes, people are hyper focused on Facebook, and they forget that they can go on other social media platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, Etsy, Twitter, Snapchat, so many other different places that your audience are on that not a lot of people are tapping into. And so I want you guys to take a quick look at this chart. This is a chart about, I think it's from Business Insider, and this is mainly about Snapchat. And look at the statistics on here. So the one highlighted in light blue are shared audience, which means about 65% of people on Facebook are also on Snapchat. About 54% on Instagram is also on Snapchat as well. So, but look at the one highlighted in navy blue. On the top, it shows the percentage of people that uses Snapchat but does not use the other platforms. So as you can see, you have 35% of people who only use Snapchat but not Facebook. We have about 46% that only use Snapchat but not Instagram, so on and so forth. But my point here is, if you take a look at the percentage up here, these are all just exclusive to Snapchat, and they are not on the said, social media platforms down there. They're not on Facebook, they're not on YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp. Okay, so when I say you want to diversify your traffic sources, because how can you possibly reach your potential audience if you're not on every social media platforms? What I find very ludicrous, that other channels that just hyper focus on Facebook, just hyper focused on Instagram, to find your customers is kind of crazy in my opinion, because people who are on Instagram may not be on Facebook. People who are on Facebook may not be on Twitter. People who are on Twitter may not be on YouTube. But you guys get the point. Okay, so your audience is literally everywhere, but not everyone is on Facebook. Not everyone is on YouTube. And so in order to really maximize your traffic, definitely go out and learn different traffic sources. And that is what my channel is about. I do focus on multiple different traffic sources. And if you look at my past videos, you can go ahead and watch those videos. I do a lot on Pinterest. I do a few on Instagram, and so many other traffic sources like YouTube. I did one on that as well. So that's it for my print on demand training. I literally gave you guys a free course. I went through my 7-step system on how you can literally create a print on demand store and run your first ad, all under 60 minutes. Super easy and simple. Also, as I mentioned before, I gave you tons of great resources on the slide on the right side of the screen. I also will link all of these resources down below the description so you guys can get to it easier. But let me know if you guys have any questions by leaving a comment down below. Also, before you leave, if you do really want to master the entire print-on-demand business, as most of my students has already went through my program, then I encourage you to check out my print-on-demand masterclass at teebootcamp.com, where I will show you more in depth, step-by-step, on how to master my 7-step system. So I'll go into more in depth on picking a profitable niche, store creation. I'll go into depth about, creating more specific pages. You'll work with different designers and reliable suppliers. I actually recommend. I have a list of suppliers that you can use. I also show you my different scaling strategies. I think at this point I have 7 or 8 different scaling strategies that a lot of my students are having success in. I also show you more in depth about how I actually automate the entire process. What exactly do I tell my virtual assistant, etc., and drive more traffic. So the driving more traffic part is part of my bonus section, where I will show you. I will have an Instagram mastery course, Pinterest mastery course, Etsy, Twitter, Merch by Amazon, SEO, and I'm going to be adding more and more social media traffic as we move on, but you'll get lifetime updates as I update more and more content inside of my bootcamp. But again, you'll be getting all of this, including my print-on-demand masterclass, once you join Tee Bootcamp. A lot of other people are charging insane amounts for each of these courses alone. If you just search on YouTube, some people are just trying to sell you on Facebook, just trying to sell you on Instagram, just trying to sell you on Pinterest. You'll get all of it. You get my entire training all at one low cost. And the best part about my bootcamp is that you're going to get a mentorship with me, which means that once you are part of my bootcamp, you get to ask me any questions, and I'm always there to answer your questions. Oftentimes when I see people purchase a course or a mentorship, they never get to talk to the person that actually teaches the course. People in my course or my students will always get to ask me questions directly, and I always answer them within 1 or 2 hours. I always try to get back to my students as fast as possible, and they can all attest to that, how much I've helped them, things like that. So that's it for today's video. If you haven't already, don't forget to like this video and also stay subscribed to my channel for more content just like this. And until next time, I will see you in my next video. Live free.